Now, you may have heard about the letter that Judge Merchan sent to both prosecutors and Donald Trump's defense attorneys in New York, where he wrote, quote, "Today, the court became aware of a comment that was posted on the Unified Court System's public Facebook page, and which I now bring to your attention. In the comment, the user, Michael Anderson, states, 'My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted, and thank you folks for all your hard work.'" Now, I should also note that this person, Michael Anderson's bio, says that he is a, quote, "transabled and professional shitposter." So what we're talking about here is a random person on the internet, yeah, the internet, famous for being 100% truthful, who quite literally bills himself as a shitposter, which seems kind of tenuous as far as credibility goes, and yet that was apparently enough for Fox News.
We'll move on now to a Fox News alert. Trump's lawyers and the prosecution just received a letter from Judge Merchan, alerting them to a post on Facebook made before the verdict came out, saying, quote, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you folks for all your hard work for exclamation points."
Friday night, tonight, we have major breaking news from New York City. Not long ago, New York Judge Juan Merchan issued a very bizarre, unusual letter notifying President Donald Trump's attorneys and the DA's office about a social media post on the Unified Court System's public Facebook page. Now, the post in question reads the following, quote, "My cousin is a juror. He says Trump is getting convicted. Thank you, folks, for all of your hard work." The post was published the day before the verdict on Wednesday, May 29th. In the letter, Merchan did not indicate whether this post was valid or if the courts are investigating the matter, but this is by far a very, by any level, an alarming development. And earlier tonight, this is huge, Judge Merchan from the Trump trial sent a letter to lawyers on both sides in that case, letting them know that before the verdict was announced, a Facebook user, I believe the day before the verdict, left a comment on one of the state court system's posts, writing, quote, "My cousin is a juror and says Trump is getting convicted." Okay, was the fix-in from the beginning? Is this cause for a mistrial?
This whole case stunk as bad as you thought it could. Now it smells like a 3-week garbage strike in August in New York City on the streets.
All right, Lisa, let me get your reaction to that as well. I mean, wow, if that's not cause for a mistrial, I don't know what is. This breaking news, Judge Merchan pointing out that on the state Facebook page that in fact somebody who claims to be the cousin of one of the jurors the day before the verdict comes in actually said Trump's getting convicted. Uh-oh, cause for mistrial?
Was the fix-in? Is this cause for a mistrial? Was it rigged all along? And yet, because we live in a hellish media environment where one random dude shitposting on the internet is apparently enough to trick the entire right-wing media ecosystem, even that guy had to issue a clarification. He posted, "Take it easy. I'm a professional shitposter. Definition in internet culture, shitposting or trash posting is the act of using an online forum or social media page to post content that is of aggressively, ironically, and trollishly poor quality. Shitposts are generally intentionally designed to derail discussions or cause the biggest reaction with the least effort. It may even sometimes be orchestrated as part of a coordinated flame war to render a website unusable by its regular visitors." In fact, not only is he a self-proclaimed shitposter, but his political affiliation is beyond clear. Here's a post saying, quote, "Fuck Joe Biden." So yeah, in terms of where this dude stands, it really is one of life's great mysteries. So look, will this pose any issue in the New York trial? First and foremost, no, not at all. Trump did not lose because the fix was in. He lost because he is a criminal, and the evidence was clear enough that 12 separate jurors all agreed that he was guilty on all 34 criminal counts. So if there's any worry about the conviction, you can breathe a sigh of relief. But here's the bigger picture. Right-wing media was so fucking desperate for some excuse to undermine the legitimacy of what was a very legitimate trial that they literally based their coverage on some random dude on the internet. That's apparently the rigorous standards that Fox News employs before its hosts hyperventilate on air about their God King being the victim of some egregious wrong. Like, I'm sorry, but if their sources have devolved into sourcing a random shitposter online, then we've really hit the bottom. There is no floor in terms of what they wouldn't be willing to exploit to sell their narrative. If we're at the point where a single Facebook post by some random person is enough of a flimsy foundation that they need to prop up whatever narrative they're selling, then they might as well just need no foundation at all. They might as well just say whatever they want, because at this point, what's the difference? When Fox settled with Dominion Voting Systems for a record $787.5 million, I said that the lies will continue because they are quite literally the business model. Fox isn't news. It is a propaganda arm of the Republican Party, and part of being a propaganda arm of the GOP is that they have to lie, and those lies are going to cost them money, but that is quite literally the business. So anyone who thinks that Fox learned its lesson after the last settlement doesn't understand the core model of Fox. The lies will not stop because they're not a byproduct of their business operations. They are the business operation. And while, of course, Fox will back away from the story now that it's clear that there's no there, you should know that Hannity's audience and other Fox or right-wing media viewer who consumed the initial hysterical coverage is going to walk away thinking that they got yet another proof point that the trial is rigged against their dear leader. Hannity isn't going to issue some correction. None of these Fox hosts will. None of the right-wing mouthpieces on Twitter will, because they don't have to. There's no effort to regain their integrity because there is no integrity. It's just propaganda. And they know that the toothpaste is already out of the tube, and plenty of people already believe the bogus coverage, and that was always the goal. They got what they needed out of this, and that was to spread a lie for as long as they possibly could. And this has been a recurring theme on the right. For the last 15 months, for example, Republicans have carried on with this completely baseless impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, even though at no point have they presented a modicum of evidence. In fact, quite the opposite. Their smoking gun witness was literally indicted for lying to federal agents. But did that matter? Did that stop them from carrying on with this exercise? Not at all. Because the point wasn't the facts, it was spreading a narrative. They will perpetuate any conspiracy theory, no matter how baseless it is, so long as it lends itself to the optics that they need. Whether it's that Joe Biden is corrupt, or that these trials against Donald Trump are rigged, so long as there's a kernel of anything they can cling on to, you better believe that they will. That's how much they hate their audience. They have exactly zero standards when it comes to what they'll use to manipulate their base. A car payment between Joe and Hunter Biden? Sure, that sounds like enough to sell the rubes who trust us this story about Joe Biden being corrupt. A random shitposter on Facebook saying the fix was in the Trump trial? Yeah, sell those marks who tune in that means the whole trial was rigged. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Republicans may claim to hate the Democrats, but there is no one they hate more, no one they have more contempt for than their own supporters. And the lies they so shamelessly sell them are proof of exactly that. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.